truly great achievement.
Dr. George Smith made history today.
He accepted the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. He's the first MU researcher to earn the distinction.
We have exclusive live team coverage, including a reporter in Stockholm, Sweden.
You'll hear from Dr. Smith on the accomplishment.
You'll hear from MU faculty who know Smith.
What a wonderful day for Mizzou.
And we'll tell you what it means for MU financially.
It's a great recruiting tool for us.
This is KOMU 8 News at 9.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News on Mid-Missouri CW starts now.
Dr. George Smith has already accepted his Nobel Prize, but the party isn't over just yet in Sweden. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Rake.
And I'm Emily Spain. Thanks for joining us. We have live team coverage of the historic event. Let's first send it to KOMU 8's Savannah Rudisell in Stockholm with how the celebrations are going. Savannah.
Good evening, Jim and Emily, or should I say good morning? It's just after 4 o'clock here in the morning here in Stockholm, Sweden. That means that the Mizzou party, the Nobel party actually, isn't over just yet. The official after party goes on for another hour here. No word yet if Dr. Smith and his wife Margie are still there, but they did promise me last night that they'd be making an appearance at this after party. Now, this week has just been full of some lavish receptions and some very fancy meals, but Dr. Smith has made sure to maintain his modest attitude and that hard work ethic that has led to his discovery in the first place.
Francis Arnold, one of this year's chemistry laureates, with George Smith and Sir Gregory Winter.
With a level of honor only the Nobel Foundation can bestow, most scientists would be over the moon. But Dr. George Smith is a bit more grounded than that.
Well, I feel pleased, of course. I mean, it's who wouldn't be pleased?
His friends and family are too.
You know, George and I have a really good marriage.
Margie Sable knows the man behind the award better than anyone.
The Nobel Prize is nice, and it's kind of like the icing on the cake. But the cake was pretty good before, without the icing. He also cares very deeply about the people he works with in all aspects of his life.
Smith says the researchers and former students who came to Stockholm with him are like family.
He demanded hard work, but he worked really hard himself, and it was hard not to respect him.
They say his lessons are ones they'll always remember.
George really gave me a strong foundation for how to do research and how to think about problems.
You just slog through it, and you make mistakes and realize that approach won't work, and you think of another, but that's part of the reason why on a pretty much a daily basis there was lots of conversation.
The Nobel Foundation recognized the sort of foundation Smith provided for the scientific community.
You know, for the latter parts of our careers, that we would like to do something that is useful for the world in general, and make whatever pitiful contribution we can to that.
The last big event for Smith and the other laureates is going to be a royal banquet at the palace tomorrow. Live in Stockholm, I'm Savannah Rudisell, KOMU 8 News.
We will have another live report from Stockholm on KOMU 8 News at 10 o'clock. Stay with KOMU and KOMU.com along with our partners at the Columbia Missourian and KBIA for the very latest from Sweden.
Back in Columbia, MU faculty and staff and students celebrated the Nobel ceremony. KOMU 8's Kara Strickland spoke to a faculty member who says the notoriety hasn't gone to Dr. Smith's head.
There was a lot of excitement here on MU's campus today. Students and faculty enjoyed the former professor's big day.
A watch party overflowed with support for the Nobel Prize winner. But Smith doesn't seem to be affected by the fame.
Since he won the Nobel Prize, he hasn't stopped. I asked him to come give a guest lecture in my microbiology class, and he got it on the schedule before he left to go to Sweden.
Assistant Professor Pamela Brown says Smith's passion for science has made it hard to keep him out of the classroom.
If anything, it's harder for him to let go than some of the other folks I've seen retire and move on.
And as for a celebration when he gets back?
He's pretty humble. I would be surprised if he wants to do much more.
Brown says there's still one more thing she is waiting to see.
We'll all be anxious to get a sneak peek at his award, the medal itself, so we'll see what happens.
Brown says she and her lab students have been tweeting and texting Smith all day to let him know how proud they are. Reporting live in Columbia, Kara Strickland, KOMU 8 News.
Now that MU has a Nobel Prize winner, the university hopes the news will attract more students. The school says it wants to do that in 3 ways. First, to educate people on Dr. Smith's discovery of the phage display through the university's website and social media. Number 2, the university is pouring more money into research. In the next 5 years, MU wants to double research funding from $200 million to $400 million. The final step, building a new medical complex with more laboratories and research workspace, built in the next 3 years. The university believes these 3 goals would showcase the school's effort.
And that means communicating the importance of science, the impact of science to the public. Because scientists understand what they're trying to do, but often it's difficult to explain the detailed work they're doing and why it or how it might apply to the public.
MU says students could use the new complex to advance the groundbreaking work of people like Dr. Smith.